Hi there. In this 5-minute tutorial, I'm going to give you an overview of everything that you need to understand about the brand guideline. Of course, before getting started on a project, it's a really good idea to get your hand on this PDF and just walk through this carefully to make sure you understand it. First of all, let's look at the logo type and the usage of that logo. The most common use of the logo is on the yellow background. The logo is one of the very few elements which appears in white. In most situations where you see the use of the logo, it's in white on a yellow background, but the other elements will appear in dark chocolate. The breakdown of those colors you will just see in a moment, and I'll go into a little bit more use of those colorways, but just understand for a moment that when you see the logo, we like it to appear on a yellow background and we like it in white. If necessary, if yellow is not available, then of course it needs to appear on a white background, in which case we prefer it to be rendered in the dark chocolate. Where dark chocolate is not possible, of course, black is acceptable. When it comes to typefaces, the most regular typeface you need to learn is the A head, which is A Mukhtar regular. In fact, pretty much everything is set in the regular, including the body, except when it comes to accents. So in the A heads, it's set to regular, and you'll see on occasion we use words which are accented, in which case we set these in dark bold. You most commonly will be seeing the typeface used is an A head, and then in body copy, in lowercase, also set in regular. On occasion, special situations, you can also use this typeface called oleo script. For example, buttons make a really good use for it. Here, you can see within the first screen of the Run Frictionless website, a lot of different characteristics of the brand guideline being demonstrated. You can see the logo is in white on the yellow background, and the majority of the other elements are either in dark chocolate or red. Where we have white appearing, we prefer the white to be preceded by the dark chocolate to give it a lot more contrast. Other elements, like for example ones which are not very prominent, like these social media sharing objects, appear in white as well. Here you can see oleo being used, and then when we roll over the mouse cursor, it's reversed out. You can see the A heads here being used, and then you can also see the accentuation of a key word which has been set, rather than in the regular, in the semi-bold or extra bold. The palette consists of 4 colors, of which the 2 major colors are the yellow and the dark chocolate. Here we have the breakdown for the screen colors, and also if you're choosing to go into print, we have the print colors. Also available to you are some secondary colors. Of the secondary colors, the one which we prefer to use most is this blue you see featured here, the second color in the stack. Both of these 2 colors can appear over the top of the yellow. However, the gray cannot appear over the yellow. It's a standalone color, and it's generally used as a background. Let me give you an example of where you can see it being used. Here you can see this gray color being used, and we've gone over the top of that with the dark chocolate. You'll see used frequently more iconography than, say, photography. Photography is an element which we use very sparingly. We tend to use it as a monotone, and we use the second color rather than black. This is actually the dark chocolate which is being featured. You can see the iconography being used a lot more in this PowerPoint presentation, and you can see various ways in which we use it and the way that the dark chocolate is rendering. In some situations we use the red, but generally speaking, the red is used where we want to create activation, where you're trying to draw the attention of the cursor of the user. It's a good idea to familiarize yourself as well about how to spell our name. This is outlined here so that there's no confusion about when to use the underscore and when not to use the underscore. For various projects, you may need to use a grid. Let's take a look at the grid now in a little bit more detail. Here you have an X and also we have an X here, indicating that these two dimensions are the same size. Along here is X and down here is X. This is in fact a perfect square. And to get the grid started, this is the key relationship is between here and here. This will give you all of your other spaces, 1.5 times X being the space here. It will also then give you the size of the logo, and it will also give you the bottom space here as well, where the other elements are permitted to fit, but where you don't want elements appearing too close to the bottom. What you'll also notice is that we've given you quite a few columns to work with. This is an example of a 2-column, which is likely to appear on a book cover. But there are also various other ones as well. For example, we go 3-column here and 4-column here for the website. So please, before you commence a project, make sure you understand which grid you're going to be using, and make sure you ask to be provided the grid. We will actually give you this already drawn up, and all you then have to do is resize the grid.